there's also one more thing that I want to say is that I've called that page The Birth of Anna. But it has also occurred to me that maybe I am older than that, and living on different galaxies or creating different galaxies, but maybe I had a different name, like the Snicker bar had a different name. It was called Marathon, and it turned over to Snicker bar. And yeah, looking at that picture and how I've done it, I'm trying to work out clues from what I've done myself, because it's a process that I'm working through, and I feel like even the process of me working things out is actually part of this. Like, I could have easily known that Madonna's mum was called Madonna, but why did I not remember that? Why was I not able to know that? But I feel like I found out just as I was before I looked at to see it, and I noticed the connection of me talking about my children potentially be called Anna just because it's you've created a language. But I've written on that page, 14,000, the birth of Anna. Now that there could be now three possibilities. So it could be the first time that I came to the MW. So the first birth of Anna in the MW. There's that one. It could be the birth of Anna, as in the first time that I'm born ever, and that's when I was born on a different galaxy, I believe, or a different mega galaxy or a multi galaxy. Was it mega or multi? I think it was a mega. Oh no, I don't know. The one I born on might have been a multi, because I don't feel like the god that made me was that experience. I thought she was like a horsey god, which is only one up from the pawn. The castles are actually stronger, but they're on the outside. The horsey ones are the ones that are weakest because they can't go far. The castle ones can go a lot further, so I always assume them as being the horsey ones are second weakest, because they can't go very far. Um, and they often get trapped if there's only like a few places that they can go, and they often get trapped, so they're actually the second weakest. But so I think the god that made me was actually quite a weak god. Maybe 5 or 6 is what you have to become. 5, 6, 7 will be like a horsey god, and then a castle god will probably be 7, 8, 9, and I don't know. It depends on how many timelines you go or how much you learn from your timelines. I suppose the complication of it. Same with like being a human. If you have 10 lives of being a 6-year-old, you're probably not going to learn that much. Whereas if you have one life where you live to 100, you'll probably develop far further. So timelines are a bit like human lives. If they're short, you don't learn much. If you died before you're 3, then you haven't even really woken up. Your soul isn't even awake yet, really. So you don't doesn't even count as a timeline. That's like souls that kill dinosaurs and try and create all the animals in the way that they want, but somehow manage to fail and aren't able to birth themselves. That is actually a possibility of why it could go wrong. You could choose the animal that you want to birth yourself in, and you can find that you've got the DNA mix wrong, and you don't survive the birth, or that you die as a child or something. I think part of starting a timeline, you have to come down and have a life as a human, and only after you've had that life as a human and you die, only if you can ensure that life, only then can you go on to actually create the timeline from that point onwards. um, and I think before, there's also a lot that you need to do. You need to make sure that the right species grow, and you want that there aren't that many poisonous ones that are going to kill you, the species that you're trying to develop. So there's a lot of pre-work that you have to do. But yeah, hopefully me talking with so much like confidence, actually I feel like I have confidence when it comes to this. But anyway, anyway, that is a reference of how old I am. You can tell by what someone says how experienced they are or whatever. But yeah, I feel like, so there's three. When it says birth of Anna, there's three meanings. Is it the birth of Anna, the first one that I made in the Milky Way, because the Milky Way is a massive place? Is it the birth of Anna, as in maybe I've created the birth of me, like the first birth ever? And the third one is maybe it's just the time that I created a new name. Maybe whatever I had before was, maybe I was still going under my mom's name or something. I don't necessarily believe that I'm older than the MW, Milky Way, but maybe I was born just a few billion years before that, but I was always using my um, the name that I got from my mum, and I don't think she was a queen, so I think she got her name from the creator who made her. Maybe in the spirit realm, or whatever, in the other realm, I managed to connect with my mum's mum, and I don't know is the answer. I don't know when it comes to that. I don't think she really liked her mum very much, and I don't think I ever met her. That's my honest opinion. But um, yeah, I I I feel that I feel like I had a much stronger bond with Tinny, definitely, um, and and I know that in this vision, I'm in a dressing room. It's like a pageant that we're all doing, but it's she's telling me some news, but I feel like I'm really young in this. I feel like I'm like 6 or something, and she's telling me some really important information that I find like, wow, fascinating. But yeah, it's true that I don't know if she's talking about the Milky Way, because she could just be talking. Um, but it'd be interesting actually if she was talking about the birth of my mum. You know, she knows how old my mum was or something like I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I remember feeling like I'm going to look up to you from now on because I have a lot of respect for you. That's just in that vision that I had. That's But then again, maybe I'm just imagining things and then creating things in my head. But anyway,